Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel. So today it's time for the episode 2 of the Deck Dates series. And today I finally am able to talk about the last combination that we drew in the last episode to work with. And this was the Secret Tarot. That this is a mass market deck. It's published by Lo Scarabeo and it's by Marco Nisoli. This is an older version, but you can still get it. Um, yeah, so that is that. And the oracle that we drew to combine this tarot deck with was the Earthbound Oracle. This is an independent published deck. It is by um created by A.L. Swartz and by the company of Skull Garden. They did also the Wooden Tarot and a fitting Lenormand deck and the another deck, the deck with the square cards. I'm not sure what that was called. So these two decks we pulled randomly by a random generator app to work with together and see if they would match or not. So the first thing that you probably have noticed is that I trimmed the Secret Tarot. It had white borders around and the title in multiple languages on top and on the bottom as well, and in a dark blue border, and it just didn't work for me. It really distracted me from the images. It really distracted me from the vibe that I got from the deck and really to connect with the deck. It just I couldn't with those borders, and so I trimmed it completely down. And now I feel so much more drawn to work with it and to use this deck, and the images feel so much prettier, and I can connect more easily to it. It was really necessary, at least for me, to free the images from those borders. So that was the first thing that I recognized while using this deck um, so often for 1 week. Um, this time even a little bit longer because I couldn't do this video because of my internet issues a week after the first episode where we drew this combination. And yeah, so and that was also the reason why didn't use this deck as often actually, because I wasn't drawn using it because of the borders. So that was the first thing. And here I have laid out my daily draw for today, or the day that I'm filming this with, which is Tuesday right now. I'm uploading this on Thursday, so it's 2 weeks before. And yeah, so that you can see what I drew and how these cards work together, how they build up from each other, the meaning, and yeah, how they give to each other. So I first drew the tarot card, and then because this deck is more, it's not your typical oracle deck for me, it's more in terms of reading style like a Lenormand would be, with a hint of oracle mixed in there. So I always put two of these. And I mean, come on, how beautiful is this reading? So we have the Queen of Wands here. So I need to get back into my power. I need to be confident and trust myself. And um, do the things that I want to do, go on my own journey, my own way, and take the time to acknowledge the things that I love, that I want to create, get a little bit creative. And so, for that, or for getting into that energy, I need to release the past, release the things that weigh me down, that block my creativity, that hinder me of being my true self and of walking my own path, that strengthen the doubts that I have, and recognize that everything is a cycle. So, what was in the past doesn't mean that that still comes back in the future. That ended, and now something new wants to begin. Also, what I really got from this card is just, um, yeah, get started. Things will fall into their place, and um, yeah, develop from or off of each other. And so there's no reason for me to overanalyze or overthink things, and just, yeah, just get going, just get started so that things can, yeah, get rolling, so to speak. So that was, and also how beautiful is this, like, the colors, you can also see color matches, like the dark green dress of hers. You can see that in the Ouroboros here. So really, that recognizing that everything has an end and a new beginning, and for everything is the right time, and there is natural development and changes involved. So you need to get your ass off and get active and do things, and not just sit there. And also the her skin color, which is very right, with the white lily and the moon here. So, and then her black lips with the other moon phases. So I love how they read together. Also, what I um, did was pull cards for the um, Christmas days, so the 24th, 25th, and 26th of December. Not just for me, but a general energy that is up there. So, my, or a little Christmas gift from me to you, because this video will upload on Thursday, where we have All Hallows Eve. Is it All Hallows Eve? I think it is. I hope I'm not talking bullshit right now. Um, Christmas Eve, at least. So, and how beautiful is this? We have the Page of Cups, we have the Sun energy, and time. So, the Page of Cups is really, for me, a little bit of a new beginning, a little bit of a fresh start. It's also about starting to recognize emotions and feelings, maybe a overall start, or a restart of a relationship. That could be a love relationship, but it could also be a relationship that you had with a friend of yours or a family member. Um, that you, yeah, that you haven't seen for a long time, or maybe you have argued with that person and there was a fight, and now you get back together. That could also be the case, or a start of dreams, because the Page of Cups is a really dreamy person, in my opinion. um, so, yeah, and to recognize what you actually want and where your desires are. Um, so it will be a very emotional Christmas holidays or Christmas days, but we also have the sun, and the sun illuminates things. So yeah, there is light coming into the darkness so that we can actually see light coming into relationships, that we can actually recognize the other person. Where that relationship is going, what that relationship is about, and how we can heal it, how we can move forward, what emotions are involved in that relationship. Also, illuminating what's going on inside of us, and finally recognizing that so that we can move forward, heal, move in the direction where we need to go and where we want to go, because we finally start to recognize what we want and what we need, and therefore we are becoming or coming into our power and being authentic, because now we start to um, express our feelings and start to recognize that they're there, and start to recognize what our dreams are and start to follow that, but also recognize that this is a process that needs time. So a little bit of patience is involved. We have the page here, and the page is the beginning of the court cards. It's still little, it still needs nourishment and care and effort, and work that needs to get into this project, especially when we're talking about dreams fulfilled, or you're working on fulfilling your dreams or wish that you have, but also in terms of working on a relationship, forgiving somebody, or putting a relationship on the next level. That needs time. It needs time to develop. It needs time to heal. It needs time to flourish. And especially when I show you guys what we have here. So this is also a reminder that don't give up. You're still at the beginning, so don't say to yourself that it's it's not worth it starting it because you will fail, or it's not real, it's a dream, but it's too good to be true, so I'm not starting it at all. Don't say that, because when you're not studying it, you won't know if that is really the case, or if you probably, if the dream really has potential to become reality. And also, if you're already in that process of healing, or of following a dream, or of developing a relationship to somebody, or forgiving and getting back together, it needs time. Always remember that that is completely natural. And that doesn't mean that it won't work or that it was the wrong decision. Just don't give up. Be patient and have endurance. And you will get there. We have the sun. That stands for clarity, for authenticity, that I already have said. You will get into your power, that relationship will get into its power, and we have a happy end as well. Um, and also on the bottom of the deck, we have growth. So there is potential there. It just needs to grow. And when something needs to grow, it needs time to do that. So keep going. All right, you guys, that was the reading. So you see, it reads really beautifully together. And I think it also fits really perfectly together, also in terms of artwork. Although these are two different art styles, two different decks. This is more like Lenormand kind of style. You just have one image, or one thing that is the main thing on the card, and it's pretty direct. And the secret tarot is our full scenes. You have the background illustrated, you have the person, you have a scene going on in some cards. And also there are, because this is the secret tarot, in a lot of the cards, let's see if it will focus. In a lot of the cards, you have something hidden in the background that you maybe won't see at first glance or at first look. Um, so there's a lot going on in these images, but I still think they go quite well together. And I also in terms of how it looks, and I that wasn't the first thing that I thought when pulling this combination. It was actually, well, I'm not sure if they will work so good together, at least in terms of looks and in terms of style. But now seeing these cards and work with them and seeing these cards next to each other, especially with that color combination and all of that, it still works for me visually as well. And also in terms of reading style, they both read for me really clear, and show you what you need to know in a clear and short and direct way. So it's not really heavy and goes deep, and you need to wrap your head around it and think about it and analyze it, and layers upon layers of meaning. It's pretty quick and clear. It gives you that clarity, that thing that is most important for you to need to know, that you need to know right now. Um, and so, not direct in the sense that it talks to you in a direct way, like, well, so, well, it's clear that you need to look at this. It's obvious, and like the badass baby unicorns is very direct in the way that it speaks to you, like with a lot of swearing and, oh my gosh, are you stupid that I really need to show you that again? Not in that way. It's really light in its messages. The messages aren't heavy and weighing you down. Um, but they're important, and they're the things that are necessary for you right now. And it's on point. That is what I mean when I say direct. So I wouldn't have thought that these two have the a very similar energy in terms of what I'm getting, or in terms of the way that they give me the messages and how they read for me, but they do. And so they really work together quite beautifully. So yeah, that was the combination. Let's see what we have again. We have the Queen of Cups and Earth and Bond. I mean, Bond and the Queen of Cups and Earth, that growth, that nourishing, that stability and that emotional bond, that stability and grown up sureness in your emotional landscape, and yeah, in your feelings and with your intuition as well, is really beautiful. So they read really well together, at least for me. You have the Two of Cups, perseverance, which works perfectly for the Two of Cups, at least in my opinion, and well. So the Two of Cups, that first getting to know each other and starting that deeper connection, but you need to have perseverance with that connection so that it can develop, and so that you can reach that point where it's really yeah, a really abundant relationship. So just pulling a few more, maybe not reading because that video is already long, but just so that you can see how they work. So we have the, oh my gosh, we have the Eight of Wands here, Intuition and Illuminate. Also pretty together. The Fool, Travel. I mean, come on, the Fool and Travel. And look at the color combination with the blues and the oranges and the more orangey reds that we see in the Fool's dress. So the Fool is actually the butterfly, and he goes on that travel to transformation. And death. And death is behind the Fool. So he left something behind so that he can go on to that journey. He only has the really necessary things in his bag. That is beautiful. The Four of Swords, Self. Look at that color combination of the background here and the color of the heart. And Luck. So amazing. So I hope you could see how these two decks work together and how they look together, and therefore made up your own opinion about that deck combination, because what works for me doesn't necessarily work for you guys, and vice versa. So now, after being 21 minutes in already, I had the hopes that these videos would be a little bit shorter videos, but well, it is what it is. So let's pull the next card combination. So for our tarot deck, what do we have? We have the Circle Tarot, okay. And the Oracle deck that we combine it with is the Mystical Shaman Oracle. Well, that is also a deck combination that I wouldn't have done actually, because for me they feel really, really different and have really different art styles as well. So Mystical Shaman, and so actually let's get the decks out here. The Mystical Shaman, this is the German edition, so now so if you have wondered why that title looks so different, it's the German edition, but it's the same cards and the same thing, and the Circle Tarot. So these are the two decks that I will work with together, and they are very different in art style. While the Mystical Shaman is a more collagey, digital manipulated art style, the Circle Tarot is pretty much, I'm not sure if it's done by computer, but it's more drawn. This is really colorful, this is more earthy in color, and this feels more fiery and creative to me, and this really earthy. So I have worked with both of these stacks. I have these stacks for a long time now in my collection, so I know how they feel for me and how they read for me already. But as you can see, really, really different in terms of looks, in terms of style, for me also in terms of energy. So I'm not sure if that will be a match, but we will see. For the last two combinations, I wouldn't have thought about combining those two decks together, and they still work for me quite beautifully. So you'll see how these two work together, but you see complete different. So I'm really excited to see how these two work for me together, and if they probably, or this combination will probably be the first combination that we won't have a match, at least in my opinion. We will see. I will talk to you guys about my experiences with this in the next episode, which will come up next week on Thursday. So keep an eye out for that. And also, thank you for watching. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up if you liked this format, if you loved what you have seen, or if you find it helpful. Don't forget to share this video as well. That is really, really helpful for me. And subscribe to my channel if you're new here or if you haven't already, and watch my videos. Um, watch oh my gosh, and watch my videos already. Just subscribe. It helps you because you don't have to search for my channel and search and look if there is a new video or not, because you will have the videos in your subscription feed, in your subscription box. And it helps me a lot here on YouTube to have new subscribers. So I'm really thankful for everybody who already has subscribed. I really appreciate every single one of you. Um, it really makes me happy to see that new subscribers are coming in here, and there were some new subscribers in the last weeks. Although there was a break, so I really appreciate that. And thank you for watching. And I hope I will see you either in the next episode of Dark Dates or maybe in the next video that is coming up, which will be the Fairy Tale Friday reading. Bye.